Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. This is Rosina Starr. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. So the name of this one is going to be Narcissists Control the Outcome of Every Conversation and Every Interaction with You. Whether you have plans, you're going to talk to them on the phone, they already preemptively have a plan in place in their mind of how they want things to go, and usually when they do, they are always satisfied. So, and I'm even going to give you a couple examples. So let's just say, and they can even do it through a different party, like a third party, like a flying monkey person, somebody spying on you for them. So let's just say you meet this guy and you've been out with them 3 or 4 times and he's like, hey, I think I want to take you shopping and, buy you something nice and buy myself something nice. And then, you're already kind of skeptical of the guy because just getting to know someone, you always kind of want to make sure you drive your own car and not let them have more control over the situation, simply because it's a boundary you're setting and it can actually guard you from the situation that happened to me, which will never happen again, by the way. So trusting a little bit too much can make you have a situation where, he said to meet him at the mall. I actually asked him to meet at the mall, and he had said, well, why don't you just meet at my house? And I thought, well, that's usually not how I do things, because if we're going to have a good time at the mall and it goes well, then I would go back to his house, right? Well, he wanted to start at his house, so I let him have his way. He seemed pretty adamant about that. And so I went along with it, and I regretted that, because then he treated me badly at the mall. He decided to run around and buy himself stuff and be a window shopper, and they do that with women as well, and the smirk on his face gave away who he was. I didn't really want to sit there another minute, and I actually would have left a lot sooner than I did had I had my own car at the mall, because I don't waste my time with people like him, and he knew that on the way back and kind of felt a certain way about it, but I just knew that I never cared to want to talk to him again. It was like an hour and a half from my house, and it's a shame that, I had to learn my lesson, but I did. And next time, you always have to protect yourself from the get-go so you're not, following into somebody else's trap. But anyway, I'm sure he enjoyed his laugh after all of that, but it didn't really go anywhere, and it didn't really hurt me any. It's just actually educating me on what more signs to look for. So here we are. There was another instance where a guy had sold, actually got my sister a dime bag of weed, and, delivered it to his car or something, and she paid him the $50 for it, which they were going to go on their very first date. I guess they worked together. And the guy was such a jerk, he really didn't want to go out to eat with her, so he made sure probably to set up that deal so that the bag was terribly short, and the quality was not very good, and she didn't even see that was on purpose. Did you think that he would try to make you miserable and then you would just have to be okay with it? That's a shit test right there. Can I take your money and give you bad weed, and will you still go out with me? He knew right away what he was doing, and she right then shut him down, got rid of the guy, hopefully forever. I don't know if she still talks to him. But, I mean, that's just showing his character. I don't take personally what narcissists do to me, because it's a reflection of who they are more than who I am. All I can do is be myself and treat people the way I would treat them, or I would like to be treated, based on the respect they give. So it's kind of like people set the tone of, how they're going to get treated from me. Because I just don't go around mistreating people on purpose by the day. There has to kind of be like a reason there. But it's like, with these narcissists, I mean, even on the phone, if they're going to try to waste your time for some reason, let's just say my ex is trying to keep track of me through somebody else, he'll have somebody call my phone and try to keep me up all hours of the night saying, oh, I'll come over there, when they're, obviously more than an hour away, and they're not coming here. And the last time that person said that they wanted to hang out or come over and have some kind of a friendship, my ex showed up. So how dense do they think I am to know they're not connected? Now I take the call for entertainment. I think that even has to have an end date on it, because now I just don't have the time. Now I'm doing my videos and I know where it goes, and I really don't give any honest information. So how would they really even know what to look for or what I'm doing? I don't even put anything out there on Facebook. So they're really at a loss to know exactly what I'm doing with my life, which is only going to be to my favor. And if everybody else would really take the proper precautions to guard themselves from anybody really knowing any unnecessary information, it's only going to work to your benefit in the future. So how they go and they pull strings to make it work out to their favor is, they want to see the reaction that they get by testing you. They could write you a bad check if they borrowed money or they owed you money for something. They could offer to reimburse you money and then never do it, start a fight, so you'll forget about the reimbursement with a cognitive dissonance after the fight. They'll They'll send you to the car 4 or 5 times during a visit to the lake with a friendship because, you're gullible enough to go and do it because he forgot his charger, he forgot his phone. Really, he just wants a secret conversation with 2 other people, and he doesn't want you to hear, and you're just a naive, dumb girl living with him or playing along that you don't know, but you're nice enough and naive enough to still not know him yet, and you haven't caught on. So it's like, yeah, they'll create these situations and scenarios that usually play out to their favor. And if they don't, they usually have some kind of plot of revenge that'll be waiting in the wings for you. Or they will keep trying, to get one over on you or to, try to, shit test you in some way. Or they will have some kind of evidence to be questionable that maybe you would want to call them on it. This was left outside my house, or, you'll get these random weird phone calls thinking you'd want to call them to see if they knew the number, or, maybe he'll get a phone call and say, hey, I wondered if you knew this person, just to see if it could start something between you, even a conversation. They generally, though, have it all premeditated. I mean, narcissists live very bland, boring, mediocre, extremely miserable lives that usually they die by 1,000 cuts eventually. Whether it's in their own mind or in their own character, and they change their identity. They don't even know who they are anymore. If you've ever seen that movie with John Travolta, what is it, Swordfish? Where, he says, I changed my identity so many times, I don't know who I am anymore. That kind of describes, he was who he had to be in every situation he was in, right, in the movie. And that's kind of what a narcissist is, and that's how they live their life. So it's kind of like a bad movie. That was actually kind of a decent movie, but it just goes on, and the character changes with the new face that they meet. So sometimes when they come back to you after they've been gone for a while, they are mixing up the character of who they were with you to who they are with maybe 2 or 3 other people. So that's why you're getting this unclear message, or this person that's not who they are anymore, because somebody else is buying their bullshit and you are not. And therefore that makes you bad and the other people good. Regardless of, they'll think about you between losing and gaining new supply because you were the one that they really wanted, had the most characteristics that they adored. They'll never probably forget about you. But it's all a controlled outcome to their favor, and they'll always have other people there for that protection. It's all about protecting and defending their egos and their false self. And, if you're going to be real, you're going to get punished. If you're going to bring up something that's true, you're going to get spit on. If you're going to question something which needs an answer that's going to make them look bad, and you know it will, you're going to get slammed against the wall. If you want to go to dinner and he doesn't have any money, he's going to end up, reacting in a way that's unfavorable. I mean, it never ends. And he's looking for somebody to put up with the abuse. He's looking for somebody to put up with the controlled outcomes. I mean, and they'll even do it through other people. They could use a neighbor, they could use a family member. They could use a friend, a sister, an acquaintance, to come back around to try to haunt you or taunt you, even if you're not in a relationship with them anymore. But they love the triangulation game. And it will go on for, months, weeks, decades, or years if you let it. But, just be forewarned. If things are happening and they're not to your favor, Think about who you were when you weren't with that person. Did you have that bad of luck that you got parking tickets? Did you always get speeding tickets? Did you have to worry all the time? Did you have anxiety? Look at the person you are today compared to who you were. And maybe they will fear this the most, that you'll remember who you are, but narcissists are looking for people that want to hate themselves because they hate themselves too. So if you're not going to be on board with that kind of self-sabotaging behavior and join in, then you're against them, and they will treat you like an enemy always, and they never go away completely. Unless you lock, hide, ignore, and nail the door shut, you will always have to look over your shoulder until it's just completely over with. Like, they've moved on, you've moved on, and they're blocked everywhere. So I'm just saying that these controlled outcomes they can be very dangerous, and they're never to your favor, and they are always on purpose. If you have a story to share, please email me at rytenow666@yahoo.com or share in the comments. Thank you for watching. Rosina Star.